Wealth Creators presents Wealth Creator Spotlight. Today's guest is Marcel Hunter. From being a professional barber to business owner, struggling with leadership and scaling, Marcel found the solution. Learn how he turned challenges into profits with wealth creators. Tune in to the Wealth Creator Spotlight. You don't want to miss this.
Hey, wealth creators. Hey, wealth creators. We are so excited that you are here today. My co-host, Angela. Hey.
Coach Rosie.
Hey, I am so excited to be here today. Today is going to be a marvelous day. We have none other than Marcel Hunter here with us, who is a wealth creator. I'm Coach Rosie, and I am a wealth creator as well. I teach people how to become the bank in real estate, how to take the income that they make from their real estate property and put it in a compounding, growing, increasing IUL or whole life policy so that they can borrow against it as if they never borrowed without ever having to pay it back or ever having to pay taxes on it. So I don't know if you're excited about that, but I most certainly am. Angela, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you, Coach Rosie. I'm still excited about all the things you just announced. I'm Angela Brown. I am also a wealth creator. I'm a licensed insurance agent, and I'll teach you and show you how you can get out of debt. And do that within 5 to 7 years, and that even includes your mortgage in most cases. So I am just excited. I also am a wealth creator, and I'm just so excited to be here. I'm actually becoming now an ambassador for wealth creating because it's all I talk about. Is so many good things in the program. So I need to take a deep breath, be excited about wealth creating. We're going to highlight our guest today.
All right. Thank you so much, Angela. Let's get into it because this gentleman is so amazing. He's a wonderful person, wonderful father. He is on fire. And I absolutely have to introduce you guys to how he has begun to create wealth in his life, to do all of the things that he has dreamed of doing. And he is building not just a life for himself and his children, but he's building a life for generations to come. So let's go ahead. I'm going to introduce Marcel Hunter to you all. I hope that you guys are so excited about it. So right now, let's listen to this, right? Marcel is the proud owner of Lawn and Order Property Maintenance, serving both commercial and residential clients in Nashville, Tennessee. Just think about it. We got somebody in Nashville, y'all. We can go visit, right? But before building his business, Marcel spent 9 years as a licensed master barber. So from barbering to lawn care. I'd say it's all about the hustle, right? So hustling every day behind the chair is what he did for 9 years. Now, like many entrepreneurs, he faced many challenges, but with the leadership, numbers, running a business that could thrive without him being in the trenches daily. But once he joined Wealth Creators, he learned how to structure his business, pay himself more. Now, I like that. Structure the business, pay yourself more, and create real financial freedom. Now, he's not just a business owner, he is a wealth creator, leveraging new skills like trading. Whoa, we're going to have to talk about that. Creating a trust and smart money management to actually grow beyond just his landscaping business. So get ready for some game today, y'all, because Marcel is about to share the keys to scaling, earning, and winning in what he's doing. So y'all show some love for Marcel Hunter. Let's go.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Coach Rosa.
So good to have you here, Marcel. Let's get into it.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, you went from barbering to lawn care.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how would you say that those two things correlate?
Well, there's those very important things that we need in our life. We always want to look good as far as on the barbering side, even in death. We want to look good when we're going to, when we pass away. As far as with the lawn and landscaping, we have to have that to be able to keep the environment up looking good and, presentable for people at their houses or their business.
I love that.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. From barber to lawn care to make sure you're looking good at all times. Let me ask you this: how did you even think about even becoming a barber? Lawn? Tell us about growing up, childhood. Who influenced you to be an entrepreneur? How'd you even get started?
Okay, well, the seed got planted in my head as far as with the lawn and landscaping was with my grandfather, my daddy's dad. He's the one that planted the seed as far as me getting up and going around the neighborhood and knocking on doors. As far as with the cutting grass, as far as the cutting hair, my mother's daddy, my other granddaddy, he inspired me to do that as well too. But he's also a big factor as well too, as far as like pouring into me and watering me, as far as in my lawn and landscape business as well too.
Wow, it's definitely like that family support. I mean, you got such a rich foundation on both sides of them granddaddies pouring into you. That's powerful. That's pretty powerful. And it's seeming like grandparents give you this sense of stick to itness. I don't know if it's because of just who they are, but something about the grandparents can make it, just help you tremendously and giving you that grounding. That's powerful. That's real powerful.
It really is.
Yes.
So tell us, Marcel, first of all, how long have you been in business again? In the lawn care business?
I got back into it in 2013, but I got my business on paper on 2018. So I've been going with it full time since then. So professional on paper since 2018.
Nice. So what would you say, because you did barbering first and then you started getting into lawn care, what would you say has been or has been the most challenging thing that you've had to go through in your business?
Well, as far as the barbering for me, my first year of barbering, I didn't earn $5,000 my first year of barbering, but I stuck with it. The second year, it doubled. And then after that, I still stayed with it, but, my income started increasing. As far as the lawn and landscaping, I would say my toughest year was 2020, I would say around that year. I had built up a team, but I just didn't have very reliable employees that I can really count on at that time. And as my business was growing, I just had I had a bad employee at that time, and he just kind of messed up everything around me. He was a bad apple. And it just left me down to one employee for that year. Well, not for that year, for a time being. And I felt like I didn't know what I was going to do. And things was getting tough for me. And honestly, Coach Rose, I remember I have a ritual that I do every day. And where I read scriptures out of the Bible. And I came across the Bible, Psalms chapter 94, verse 19. And I had read that verse right there. And it was a burden had lifted off of me. And that right then after that, that's how my business began to flourish. Also, I had to thank my manager as well, Mario, because he was a big part of that. But after I read that verse, a big relief came off of me, and I was able to transfer my business to a six-figure business.
Now we got to talk about that right there for just a minute. Because you can't just let that pass by, right? We got to stop there for a moment and hone in on the fact that you said you had a ritual, something that you did every day. And because you had that, you tapped in one particular day because you had been going through all the challenges and you tapped into that ritual. And this scripture, you would read scripture. So the scripture pops out and you're just like, whoa, and I'm assuming that was the revelation for you at that moment, right? And from there,
Yes.
your life started to change. Your business started.
Big week that same day. I had 3 new employees come that morning, and yeah, it went up from there.
Yeah, like someone in the audience, Tracy said, amazing, right? Like that, but that's the miracle of God. That's the miracles of God, right? Like just when you need him, right? The most. There's a song that says that,
Yeah.
right? Just when you need him the most, he's always there. So he showed up for you at the right time, right place, and got you going.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
now that's
Because I was on
for, right?
the
That's awesome.
Powerful. So, Marcel, what was that scripture that you read? Did you remember it? I mean, what? And you said today, do you have that?
Yes. I read it every day. It says, it's Psalms chapter 94, verse 19. It says, Lord, when doubt fills my mind, when my heart is in turmoil, quiet me and give me renewed hope and cheer. And that's the verse right there.
Whoa.
Wow.
94,
wow.
right? Psalm 94.
Verse 19. Yes.
94, 19. That's
19.
powerful.
Wow. And I mean, that was a message right there, right? Like,
exactly.
right? Look, Angela, we're like, whoa. When there is doubt, man, come on. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was beautiful. So,
absolutely. Thank you.
What would you share with other people about being in business? And then tell us why you would share that.
Being in business, it has its ups and downs. You know, it definitely has its challenges. Being a business owner, if you ever get to the point where you're able to hire employees or you take on their responsibility as far as hiring employees, it takes it to another level. You're now responsible as far as definitely keeping work for them, making payroll, making sure that they're okay. So it's a lot of challenges that come with it. Not just that, then the taxes, you know, the insurance, then your personal stuff, what you got to take care of. It's quite a bit that come with it, but then it's also, you know, we do reap good fruits from it, you know, if we are able to, you know, prosper from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Marcel, with your particular business, being lawn care is seasonal, so it's not all year round. So how do you juggle that with your employees, or, you know, how do you make that happen?
Yes, with the lawn care business, it is seasonal. We normally keep work for about 9 to 10 months, starting from March to December. So during that time, I do have more employees during that time. But during the winter time, my employees do kind of shorten, because I do use the visa program. But during the winter season, we do offer, you know, snow services as such, where we can do commercial properties and even residential driveways to clear their driveways or their walkways for them.
Oh, and then you talked about the visa program. What is the visa program?
Yes, this is an H-2B visa program that a lot of landscaping business owners that they use. That's how they're able to grow their business.
Okay.
It's a program where we be able to bring in foreign workers for companies that are having a hard time finding American workers here. And we bring them over here for a period of time. And once their visas are up, then they go back home into their home country.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
What would you say, Marcel, is or was one of the breakthrough moments for you? You just kind of gave us one with your ritual and that scripture and how it, you know, changed the trajectory of your business. But then moving forward, right? Because I think as a business person, it's a journey, right? So there are these steps that we're taking every day. It's a process. What would you say has been your process, and how has Wealth Creators helped you along that journey?
My process is always continuing to learn. I always wanted to continue to learn more. So when Marvin, you know, I've been following Marvin for quite some time, since I believe 2020. Whenever he would go live, you know, I would always tune into him to see what he has to say. And when he first started Wealth Creators, you know, he had said that if you are a business owner, that if you can't take a vacation from your company for 30 days and come back and your business hasn't continued to thrive or be better since you left, then you need to come to Wealth Creator so I can teach you this. And I was sold, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I wanted to be able to do. I wanted to be able to, you know, own my business, have employees, be able to delegate work, and while I can still be able to travel the world, you know, and do things and still while I'm still having income coming in. And I'm, you know, that's what I wanted. And I got with Wealth Creators, and that's what I've been learning from Marvin.
That's beautiful.
Outstanding.
That's beautiful.
Outstanding. So, and when you talk about some of the things you learned from Marvin, especially the fact that you wanted to be able to take a vacation, not be concerned about, you know, your company, because you got processes and things like that in place. What would you say would be the main thing that you learned from him, from part of Wealth Creators, to help you to be able to transition like that, where you can take a vacation and not have to be concerned about, you know, your company, and it will still run and flourish?
Got to have a great manager. You know, I needed to delegate. I needed to put someone where all of my employees couldn't have direct contact with me. I needed to have somebody like as a shield per se,
Good.
right there in front. Because I know that some business owners, we can be too nice. And I feel like that was me. So I needed someone right there in front of me. And that's what Marvin was telling me, to do that. That's one of the things. Also knowing my numbers. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs, we think about, only thing we think about is just how much we're revenuing. You know, I'm doing this a month, but that's not really all that matters. Is the bottom line. What are you profiting? It's also mentioning me, you know, as far as me getting a VA to help out with my admin work. So that right there has done help me out tremendously, while I'm having not to have to deal with all the clients that are sending messages in and all of that. It was just coming too much overbearing for me, because when you transition from doing what I've noticed, when you transition from doing physical work and when you went to the office, is more mental. And then that's just a different ball game right there, when it's all mental and it's not a physical game.
Yeah, because all that mental is draining. So you learned to, like,
Yes.
you got a VA, you learned how to make sure to get a manager, you learned how to know your numbers. Oh, wow.
CFO, he's mentioned, yeah, got me on with my CFO. And not just business wise, you know, I've done called him up and asked him, for, you know, for some personal advice as well too, or just even in person. And he's giving that to me as well too. So it's just not always majority business, but you know, he's a good leader.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Tell us, what have been some achievements since you have gotten into Wealth Creators? What would be one achievement that you would say was major in being a part of Wealth Creators?
Learning how to trade. I learned a new skill set. Marvin brought in option snipers, YC and Josh. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but I just never stuck with it. And you know, that was one of my goals, is with me praying to learning something new. And that's a skill set that I've wanted to learn, and I'm continuing to learn it. And that's one of the major things right there.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much, Marcel. I mean, this has been so wonderful. The ability to be able to share with other people your journey in business and the things that you have learned, that has really set you, you know, on a trajectory to be able to make the money that you desire to make, build your business, scale your business, learn how to trade in options and all of these things. I think that is absolutely magnificent. I'm so proud of you, like absolutely proud of you, and to be a wealth creator on that journey with you, right? I think that is such an amazing journey to have, to take, to be able to build the wealth that you desire to build for your family, right? Like you have, as a business owner, the power, right? You control everything. You have the power to create the lifestyle that you desire. And I think that that is what is so amazing about entrepreneurship and being able to do those sort of things. So just share with us, what would you share with other folks who desire to become a wealth creator, who desire to start their own business? What would you say to them today to encourage them to go out and just do
First
that
of all,
thing?
I'm definitely a big believer in God. You know, you got to have faith in God. You got to have faith. You got to believe in yourself. Times are definitely going to get hard where you're going to struggle and doubt yourself. You got to continue to go through it. Those are the growth pains right there. And write down your goals. Write it down on paper. Read them every day. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for quite some time, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I want to pass this information down. I even have my kids. You know, they're 6 and 4 years old. I have them just even starting off, you know, just 10 small goals, but I make sure that they're reading them every day because I want them to develop that habit or that ritual, you know, that can carry that on for them for as they continue to get, as they grow in life and get older, and pass it on to their kids and so on forth. I want to build a dynasty. You know, that's what I want.
Mm, that's powerful.
Ooh, I heard
I
that.
like that. Not only a legacy, but a dynasty. Marcel, if somebody was listening today, and what would one thing you would tell them to help encourage them to become a part of a wealth creator that really helped you? What would you say to somebody that's on the fence, not really sure if I should join wealth creators, based on what you've learned and what you've been able to implement and grow your business? What would you say to that person?
Wealth creators is definitely different from any organization out there that I've been with. There's just so much that we can do with it. You know, we have a very good leader with Marvin Mitchell, with Coach Rosie, Coach Sasha. We have great other leaders within inside of this group. We have a lot of opportunities as well in here, you know, from insurance to options to Airbnbs, you know, the wealth coach, the mindset coaching. I mean, it's still growing. It's still so much. I don't think, you know, if you put the effort in and just listen to what the coaches are telling you what to do and having the faith, it'll work out. You know, this is a great organization here. I'm in it to win it, and I'm sticking with wealth creators.
All right. All right. That's
I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Hey, I don't know if anyone in our audience today have any questions, but please feel free. We're going to end in just a few moments, but please feel free to put in some questions for Marcel. He'll be more than happy to answer those questions, because learning from someone who has already built their business, making money, created a trust, right, to put all of their assets into, and still be able, this is the time to learn, right,
yeah.
Angela? This is the time to start learning even more about what is going on in business, how to create your own business, the tenacity that it's going to take, because it takes a lot of courage to be able to build your business. And even in those down times, as Marcel talked about, being able to cry out to God sometimes when we have to, right? And say, Lord, I need you, right? At this
Mhm.
moment in my life to do something greater. And so when we're on that mission, Marcel, what would you say, you know, when we're on that mission and we're faced with that obstacle, what would you say, other than God this time? What would you say would be the other thing that keeps you?
Believing in myself. And then also I have people depending on me, you know.
Mm.
I have kids, you know, and not just that, I have employees, but basically my kids, you know, I had them looking up to me and depending on me. So it's important. I think it's important to me as far as like what I do, how I carry myself, you know, to having try my best, you know, to have integrity, you know, and just try to continue to better myself.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Marcel, one of the individuals in the chat happened to say, are you mobile? They say they need that service in Junction City, Kansas, but I know you're in Tennessee. I don't know if you're going to travel like that, but.
No, not for that. No, I would not.
Are you ready to
Have to be in Nashville or surrounding counties for me to do that, you know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is awesome. So what's next, Marcel? What's next for you? What's the next big goal? You said you do your goals, you read them. So what's your next thing? Your next
Been
big
trying to
goal?
keep it a secret, but so, you know, I say learn, you know, getting better at my new skill set as far as with trading. You know, I definitely have big goals with that, big dreams with that. But I know it's a journey. It's an up and down roller coaster. But that's my next thing right there. I'm saying I really, really am focusing on is the trading.
Outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the kind of kind of tenacity that you have, I'm sure that you will stick to it. You know, you got that foundation that granddaddy them put into you to keep going no matter what, and you know how to get in there and grind. So we're looking forward actually for big things for you in the trading sphere. Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Marcel. To my co-host, I love you. Thank you so much. Marcel, we have had an absolutely fantastic time with you today. We've learned so much about you, about how to grow business, and not only that, how to find strength even in the midst of any challenge that we may face. So we are extremely proud of you. We thank you for coming on today. We're going to say to you, go out and continue to dominate because you are already on fire. Keep that fire burning. Let it become like a wildfire in California. Like, keep it burning. All right. So thank you so much. We totally appreciate your coming on today. And we will see you guys. Listen, we have the Wealth Creators have an event coming up May 2nd through the 4th. It is our mastermind event. If it's something that you are interested in becoming a part of, look up Marvin Mitchell, the official. Send us a message here on Facebook. We will be more than happy to share that information with you, as well as tonight, Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Marvin has his Transform Your Wealth webinar, and we hope that you will join us for that webinar tonight. So we thank you so much for being here, being present, and joining Angela and I tonight. So we're going to say, have the best day ever and go out and do what?
Dominate. Let's go dominate.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Wealth Creators. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you, Coach Rosie and Angela. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
That was fabulous. Yeah.